Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and welcome to our football construction site as we build a team through the NFL draft. You always hear others say that this particular draft is weak, or wait until next year to take this particular position, or the NFL draft is an inexact science, but we at Football Game Plan believe that all three of those statements are huge myths, and we're here to show you why as we go through 7 rounds of the NFL draft and pick players to make each NFL team better. But before we get started, let's take a look at the mock draft rules. You have to remember that the selections that you see in this mock draft will be based off of Football Game Plan Scouting player rankings, which you can find on our website at youtube.com/footballgameplan or footballgameplan.com/FBGP scouting. They're also based off what I would do as the general manager, not what I think they'll do, not what they have done or what they will do, but what I would do if I were the GM, and also what I believe are the team needs. So not what other people may think the team needs are. If I think they need a quarterback, then I'm gonna take a quarterback. That's how it's going to go for this mock draft. So it's time to put on my GM hat and let's get started in building up the NFL. The Broncos have 10 picks in this year's draft, and I kick it off by going with the defensive lineman and a versatile piece up front in DeMarcus Walker out of Florida State. He's a relentless D lineman that can play multiple roles up front. I think he does a great job on both ends of defense and has been a very consistent player his entire Seminole career. In the second round, I addressed the offensive line with Storm Norton out of Toledo. He has some really impressive tape, and for a 6'8" player, he plays with good leverage and is outstanding in the run blocking department. I believe he can step in and be a starter on the right side. With the first of 2 third-round selections, I went to the offensive line once again and picked up Isaac Asiata out of Utah. He has tremendous athleticism, and with the free agent pickups the Broncos have made, this, along with the Norton selection, will further strengthen this group as a whole. Javancy Jones is a guy that made a living of getting to the quarterback at Jackson State. He played both defensive end and outside linebacker in college, but will make the transition to inside linebacker as a pro. He's coming off a very good week of practice at the East-West Shrine game and will provide great pass rushing depth at the second level. Kevin Lucas out of Tulsa was as dependable as they come and was also a game breaker for the Golden Hurricane. He's a quick-footed wideout with strong hands and has a great opportunity to step into that third receiver spot here in Denver. Local product Kenneth Oglubode out of Colorado uses his quickness and instincts to supersede any size questions that some may have. I think he'd be an excellent sub-package guy and special teamer. Mason Schreck out of Buffalo is a sleeper tight end prospect. He's an inline guy with the ability to block in the running game and also has that versatility to be flexed out wide or in the slot and win those one-on-one battles. He can become a consistent threat on the inside for the Broncos. Going back to the defensive line, this time for help on the interior with another Jackson State product in Cornelius Henderson. A 6'1", 306-pound defensive tackle is coming off not only an excellent career for the Tigers, but also a great week of work at the NFLPA game. And Carter Schultz's game reminds me a lot of Shaquille Barrett, who's already on the roster and playing extremely well. He played all across the defensive line at Northern Iowa and also as a stand-up edge rusher as well. We saw that down in Tampa at the East-West Shrine game. He's a technically sound player that's always found his way in the opponent's backfield. He also won the Buck Buchanan Award this season, which is given to the top defensive player in the FCS. And finally, with only 2 quarterbacks on the roster, I added a third in Jack Nelson out of Winona State. Nelson broke a ton of passing records in college and shows a pocket toughness to stare down the gun barrel and deliver a strike. So that's a wrap for this edition of Building Through the Draft. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. And if you want to watch our other NFL team 7-round mock drafts, and you already should, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan, where you can catch all of our FBGP scouting prospect ranking videos. Also, subscribe to Football Game Plan podcast on iTunes.